Oye. I'm driving from Casadega back home. I'm actually kind of still hungry. I ended up getting the eggplant antipasta, although it seemed like it was like an appetizer at first, though after I ate it I felt pretty full. I'm in a very heavy spiritual journey. I just had so many different weird things happen. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Number one, I did my session with Joy, which was phenomenal, and it gave me exactly what I needed. I'll be releasing that. And after, I went to the bookstore, and I heard a woman asking for a tarot reading, and she was buying cards. And what's funny is everybody else had closed. There was no one else doing readings anymore. So I was like, I'm a reader. Though I told her the $50, man, and she didn't want to pay it. She was very hesitant about investing in herself and spending money, very frugal on money. And it didn't necessarily seem like she was deprived, although it seemed like she was kind of putting herself in a deprivation state. Like, a lot of people do that. Like, you need to invest in yourself. Life is too short. Money means nothing. I mean, invest in yourself and your health and your well-being. And to others, you know. Anyway, so I allow her to slide, and I do her reading for $30. Which, intuitively, now that I talk about this, I feel like we didn't go as deep in the cards because it was what she was paying for. Like, the universe wouldn't let me go that deep, and was kind of like almost vague on her, because her future card was her becoming a master of her. And what was influencing the situation a lot was like the relationship she was in, and like she was at a fork in the road. And that's how I knew she knew how to do that she had to do the Celtic cross, because she had a fork in the road and a decision to make. I love the cards. And then, so after I do this reading for this woman, I try to like help her, and it's like my self-worth, and I found out self-worth and ego are very entwined in one another. And that there's actually, the ego's not all bad, so you don't want to remove it. You have to listen to it. I met this healer, Kat, who actually happened to be the one to open the door, and she was actually going to suggest me to go around the other way. And I was like, thank you, Kat. We're just trying to go straight through. And she was shocked that I knew her name. And then I started asking her a little bit about reading. She started telling me she has a headache. And that's when I pull up the Heal Your Body book, and I tell her exactly what her headache means. And it's exactly what she needed, so she agreed to basically give me a free complimentary reading, or just sit and talk with me for a few minutes, because I had helped her. And she gave me a lot of information. For example, there's someone in my life soaking up my energy that is on my back, and this guy likes skateboarding. So there's that. She told me that there's green in my third eye, which basically she could see that I use green as an overall healing. And she told me I'm not supposed to use green, I'm supposed to use white. And she sensed that I'm a huge feeler, and we talked about how basically I'm her when she was younger, and she helped me come up with a way to nurture my inner child, and basically how we all have this feminine and this masculine side. She said that my feminine was too strong right now, and I'm basically pushing away my masculine when I've been masculine for a long time, actually, and I'm trying super hard to be feminine. And she's saying that I'm basically neglecting that, and that I need to nourish myself. And there's a lot of talk about this inner child stuff. Like, she mentioned, like, if a child, like a boy, is raped, how instead of being like, oh, come on, man up, don't be a pussy, like, there's a gentle way of doing it, basically, and saying, like, you're okay, I understand your pain, I understand your anger, it's time for us to walk, let's walk forward. So you move forward with them. She also talked a lot about how, as an empath, we have to learn, like, she said you don't want to have this because no crystals, like, basically I brought up how no crystals work, and like how nothing can clear me of this energy, and how I just absorb everything. And like, so I basically had to explain to her that I am that, and how it was so hard to clean up. And then I had to teach her some things that I knew about cleaning up, the neck, ears, and throat stuff, and the salts. And she talked about how I didn't want to tear open my third eye because you don't really want to see, and that's what led to the other thing about being unable to clear. And I was like, yes, I know exactly what that's like. And she told me how basically the energetic cords, how we have cords tied to people, and the cords are basically emotional attachment. We get so attached to people, and they can be unhealthy attachments. And there are healthy attachments too, just turn the relationship healthy. Just some people are soaking up our energy and feeding upon us like psychic vampires. And she basically talked about how in this healing work, we have to basically at the end of the reading, instead of taking responsibility for their healing and taking pride or taking courage or just taking that essence from their success and feeling better about ourselves and having better self-worth from their improvement, instead, all we can do is listen, be a guide, and then give them their baggage, basically, back to them. And then all we can do is offer them options and tools, though all their work has to be done by themselves. She told me that my solar is blocked, so I need to work on my solar, and I definitely would like to do more yoga. I know I'm meant to do more breathing now, which I've known already, and I've been kind of running away from. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of reading to do. And tomorrow I'm making my fun day. I'm going to go to the aquarium and to the circus is the plan, with actually a coworker, a younger gentleman who's actually pretty funny. He's actually 17, and he's quite wise, and I enjoy working with this individual. There is no sexual attraction or interest in pursuing a relationship on my end, for sure. Now, like I said, I do enjoy this person's energy, and I enjoy the childlike energy around them, and I know he's been through a lot of torment and kicked down. And he's also a Pisces like me, and I actually have always enjoyed Pisces men. Not that like I yearn to marry a Pisces man, because I'm not sure if that would necessarily work out. Though there were 2 Pisces men in my life who really hit home, and that marriage was totally considered at one point, and actually both of them I shoved away. My reading was very powerful about relationships, and I know a lot of self-work right now, and I have a lot of spiritual animal stuff going on. I have a lot to deal with my dreams. I have to go back to Sphere. That's also on the birthday wish list. Send Sphere gift cards. That is my happy place. I literally spend thousands of dollars a year there. Alright, maybe that's exaggerating of the thousands of dollars, but it's got to be at least $1,000. I have to go there at least 10 times. And I always tip. I always tip 20%. I just love them. I buy a lot of crystals there. I love Adam and his deep tissue work. And I love Heather. I love Heather so much. I actually need some body work with Heather soon. She's very gentle, but very effective. Most effective. Adam can get out all my knots, which I totally need right now. And I want to bitch at you if you're listening right now. I want you to go treat yourself to a massage. And I would like for you to look into shiatsu. And actually, I was looking at this Feng Shui book today that mentioned all the different massages. And I wish I noted what book that was. I definitely have to go to Casadega soon. I borrowed some books from Joy, so I'm going to have to bring them back. I definitely want to go there more. I'm definitely going to want something from the Renaissance Festival. I'm actually thinking about an amber ring. There's a man who only works in amber, and he has like a Christmas store or something like that. And I used to see him every year, so if I find him there this year, I would like to purchase myself an amber ring, and they're usually about $30. I bought them quite a few times, and it's very special to me. And I'm going to put it on my other hand, on my right hand, on my right ring finger, basically. And it's very meaningful for me to do that, and I'm hoping, as I said before, to get the days off, although my boss is being very cryptic in her messaging. She's saying, "We will talk later." It's very passive-aggressive, and I'm going to need to learn to deal with this accordingly, which is why all these assessments are being put on me, and I'm in this area where I am processing all of this collective data. And I understand I'm meant to help many of you. However, I need time for myself. And I'm really bad at saying no and being alone sometimes, because I am addicted to unhealthy attachments because I'm so used to them and I'm so used to that. Though I need to choose higher things for myself. Like I need to be choosing higher and better foods for myself. So I need to actually start spending some money on my food. Again, I don't know if I'm supposed to put a freaking mini fridge in my room or if I'm just supposed to make Dennis transition with me as well because our roommate is supposed to be moving out. And then sometimes I get confused, like who's the bad roommate? Like are they both bad? Or is it just one and then he's feeding off of her energy? I don't know. I really don't know. I almost want to say that's definitely it. And that makes me feel bad because sometimes she's very loving and compassionate, although I know her demons, so I'm kind of like judging in some aspect too. I know too much, you can say. And perhaps that's part of me protecting myself and knowing better. I know I'm meant to move. And I'm approaching St. Augustine right now, actually. 298 exit. Part of me is wondering if Old City Subs is open. Ooh, part of me regrets not taking that exit. I know that exit too. It's just faster to my house. And I'm a bit all over the place. Like I really need to ground myself and center, and I need to spend time with the earth. I didn't do as much of that as I was supposed to. I have this impulsivity to go and get things taken care of, and I need to assess that. I need to be mindful. I need to do homework on mindfulness. So, Kitty, you can send me some spiritual articles on mindfulness, and if you watch the Joy video, you can encourage me to have links of that, and you can encourage me to basically tweet all of the links that you send me that I don't really have time, and you can encourage me to read randomly. It helps for me to have that fire under my ass. I need people in my life that are going to give me motivation to get to my higher self, to get to my better self. And I'd like to be that for you as well, although it's extremely difficult when I'm pulled in different directions. Though if you're feeding me good, high energy, then what happens to me is I want to give more to you instead of running away from you. So if we have an unhealthy attachment, you can expect me to not engage with you as much because I know that there's work that you have to do on yourself, and it's not easy for me to do it in a gentle way. I tend to be very aggressive and tough love. I mean, if you have a drinking problem, I'm going to point it out. I'm going to tear apart your flaws basically. If I know the worst things about you, I'm going to tell you them because I want you to become a better person, and I'm not in a place yet where I can do it gently, and most of all, I'm not going to bullshit you in any way. Now, another thing that tends to happen is sometimes I can project, and other people do this as well, that are intuitives and healers or empaths, or just other people in general. Mostly, a lot of people, actually, even people that aren't very spiritual, you will say that somebody is something when really it's something inside you. However, something else I will say is the only way that you are able to see that is because it's in you. If you see jealousy or some type of sickness, mental illness, a lot of times it's because it's inside you as well. Now, some things are very hard for people to accept too, like alcoholism or having some sort of illness. Though I also believe that a lot of illnesses can be cured, if not all. And this makes me want to pursue my practices in psychiatry, though I have a very spiritual something going on right now, and I'm kind of just being called to that. So I'm definitely going to have to connect to source, and to do that, I'm definitely going to have to clean up. I definitely have to clean up. And I'm definitely meant to visualize a home for me. I'm going to be checking on Craigslist just to see some options. Although I need to figure out this whole college thing. Like, am I going to keep staying with Dennis and, save up more? And then, I have a lot of things I'm dealing with right now, and I'm going to have to do the right thing. And that's the only way that I'm going to feel good is by me doing the right thing. that makes me feel right in my soul. So please love me and show me the same kindness that you need to show yourself. I love you. Take care. I'll see you soon.